Hey guys, how we doing today? It's a holiday weekend here. I'm in my home country of the USA. I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi. Sitting out here on the beach. I always like being near the beach. What I wanted to talk to you about today is a couple ways to transfer and get money in the Philippines. I'll make this pretty short and get that information out to you where you don't have to stick around if you don't want to. But I was telling a buddy of mine that I'm taking to the Philippines with me. Shout out to you, Jason. Hope you're doing well this weekend. One of the best ways to get money for yourself in the Philippines, there's a couple different ways. I use Remitly is a good one if you need to transfer money. World Remit is another really good one. You have Western Union, but that one, the fees are pretty high. There's one called Wise, W-I-S-E. I have it, but I've never used it. I have the account set up, but I've never used it. It's always good to have multiple ways to get money to yourself while you're in the Philippines. I usually will take several credit cards, have them turned on, make sure that they work over there. The last trip I went on, I got to Taiwan, and one of my credit cards didn't work. But I had a couple backups, so it was all good. Nothing worse than when you're in the airport and you're craving one of them beers and you go and try to scan that card and it says, "Declined, sir, another form of payment." So have multiple sources, but my good old credit union card, it worked like a champ. But the MVP, most valuable player for me, is the Charles Schwab card, SCHAW. It's a brokerage account. You don't have to use it to trade stocks. I do. I use it for, I don't really trade a whole lot of stocks, but if I do, that's one of my favorite accounts. But if you start a Charles Schwab account, it's free, okay? Doesn't cost you anything. You can use it as a brokerage account if you like playing around with stocks or ETFs or any of that stuff. But the main reason why I started mine is to have an account in the Philippines, or an account based here that I could use in the Philippines. So once you put $100 in that Charles Schwab account, they're going to send you a debit card. It's basically a checking account. They'll send you a checkbook and a debit card. Now the beauty of that Schwab account is when you get to the Philippines, you can go withdraw money from an ATM over there, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you use another card, you're going to be charged foreign exchange fees and other fees. It can get expensive. But what happens with the Schwab card is that at the end of the month, any fees that you have been charged by a bank in a foreign country, they waive those fees. So it is definitely the MVP in my book. When you look at the exchange rate, I think today it's about 55 peso to the US dollar. Fluctuates. As long as it's over 50, we're in good shape, guys. You know, I looked at predictions and stuff. It was getting closer to 60 last time, but it dropped back down. But anything over 50 is good. But what happens if you use Remitly, World Remit, some of these other companies to send money, they're going to cut you when it comes to the transaction or the exchange rate. You're not always going to get the exact exchange rate. Plus, with World Remit and Remitly, I think they have a fee of about $8.95 per transaction. If you're sending money over there to your family, girlfriend, you can send money to yourself if you're there. But the Schwab card, you're going to get pretty much exactly what the exchange rate is. So if it's 55 to 1 and I go to an ATM in the Philippines today and I withdraw money at the end of the month, so today's the 27th, you know, a couple days later, they're going to, any exchange or ATM fees that I have, they're going to waive those. So if it's 55 to 1, you're pretty much going to get 55 to 1. And that's the best exchange rate you're going to get. Because if you go to like a Palawan Pawn, which is, it's a place that a lot of people go to exchange money. There's several. There's, you know, you can go to S&R, some of the grocery stores, Gasano. There's so many places to exchange money. They're always going to charge you a little bit. You know, there's some that are better. So it's just best to shop around and best to have multiple options. That is the most valuable information that I can give you, is always have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Because the last thing you want to happen is you get over in a foreign country, whether it be the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, and you don't have a way to get money. Now you're screwed. So have several backup plans. Have a couple credit cards, you know, have World Remit, Remitly, but I highly suggest the Charles Schwab account. I've got 3 of them. I've got 3 brokerage accounts and 3 checking accounts. So as soon as I put $100 in one of those accounts, the checking, they just send me a debit card. You activate it just like you would any other credit card. Test it before you jump on that plane. Call them up, tell them, hey man, I'm going overseas. Tell them the country you're going to, Philippines, Taiwan. They'll turn your card on for you. And, you know, test it out at an ATM here before you go if you haven't used it. And rock and roll, get on that plane, and, you know, peace of mind. Now, another little backup to that, I'll tell you, is that if you're in the Philippines or Taiwan or a foreign country and something happens, like say they have a fraud alert and they shut your account down. It happened to a friend of mine when he tried to hook up Netflix while he was in the Philippines, and they thought it was a fraudulent expense, so they shut him down. Well, their customer service is awesome, and my channel, this video probably get 30 views, maybe. So I'm not sponsored by Charles Schwab. They don't know me. They know I got a couple accounts with not much money in them. But their customer service is off the chain. Like every time I've had to call them, which has been a couple times, just more questions than anything else. I had an issue with a transfer taking a while. They answer the first, second ring. If the line, falls off, they call you right back. But if you're in a foreign country, my suggestion is to get Skype. Put the Skype app on your phone, and that way you can call back to the U.S. using that Skype, and you can call your bank, you can call Charles Schwab, whatever you need to, and they're going to answer. Time difference, so it's going to be middle of the night over there when you have to call over here. But that's what happened to my buddy that had an issue. He called him up, and they turned his card back on, and he was ready to rock and roll immediately while he was on the phone. So that's a good thing about the Schwab account. And you're not going to lose any money on that exchange rate. That's huge. Any way I can save money, call me Cheap Charlie. I don't like wasting money. I don't like spending money on stuff that I don't need to spend money on. I got a 20-something-year-old car. That stuff don't matter to me. I probably got the worst car on my street. Everybody looks at my car like he's broke. He's a loser. He got a 23-year-old, 25-year-old car, but whatever, it's paid for. It runs. But that's my advice to you. That's the meat and potatoes, if you will, of this video. Is if you're going overseas, get you a Charles Schwab account. And if you're a nervous traveler like I am, get 2 of them. That way, if the ATM sucks up one of those cards or you lose one, you got a backup. Because trying to get a replacement card in the Philippines, that might be a little tricky. It takes a little while. It's not something you're going to get overnight, and probably not even going to get the extent of your trip if you're going on vacation. So I have 3 of them. If I lose one, if one gets eaten up by the ATM, we go to card B, and then I got card C. If you get over there, don't take all your stuff out with you. Everybody says, always have your passport with you. Hey, I'll let you decide how you want to handle that. Your passport's your most valuable asset in a foreign country. I will say that. So I don't carry mine when I'm out and about. I got a couple pictures of it and hard copies that I carry, and I might get some throwback for that, because technically you're supposed to have it on you. I carry my American driver's license. My passport's locked up in the safe at my hotel. I got a hard copy. I got pictures on the phone, and hey, we roll with the punches and see how it goes. If I get stopped at a checkpoint, which I have, they say, Mayan Hapun, good afternoon, sir. Here's my American driver's license, and roll on down the highway. So that's the meat and bones of this this video. Ways to transfer money. Again, a little recap. World Remit. If you got a girlfriend, or you're sending somebody some money over there, World Remit, Remitly, Wise, WISE. Stay away from Western Union. Their fees are too high. That's just my advice to you. And I think with Remitly or World Remit, if that person has a bank account, I don't even think they charge you the transaction fee. I've never gone through that process. I have sent money over there before, and it's pretty affordable, and you can play them against each other. So if you get a World Remit account, they're gonna give you a promo code where they give you 3 transactions for free, so you can send money to the Philippines or Thailand 3 times for free, and then you play them against each other. Then you go to the World Remit and vice versa. You usually get promo codes. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. As far as your cell phone when you get to a foreign country, don't let the U.S. carriers over here try to pull the wool on your eyes and say, oh, sir, we have an international plan that's $10 a day or $12 a day. Nah, you don't need any of that. Just make sure your phone is unlocked. So if your phone is paid for, if it's an old phone like mine, it's paid for. So I got AT&T. I called them. I said, hey, unlock my phone. I'm going overseas. And they said, oh, sir, well, we have an international plan. It's only $10 a day. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just unlock my phone. Thank you very much. So it takes a couple of days if your phone is paid for. They'll send you a little verification. Then your phone is unlocked, and verify that before you leave the country. Then as soon as you touch ground, get you a SIM card, get it activated, and there's an app. It's called Ding, D-I-N-G, Ding. Put that on your phone and connect it to a credit card, and you can load your own phone. And they use the term load, like when you reload. It's kind of like pay-as-you-go in the U.S. So when you load a phone, that's what they mean. You can do it from your phone. You can also do it from the kiosk in 7-Eleven or some of the grocery stores. But that's my go-to is Ding. I got it on my phone. It's connected to my credit card. If my data or whatever starts running low, I just reload my own phone. And it's super handy, and it's super cheap. I made a video yesterday about cost of living in the Philippines, and I got people that will disagree with me, but you can live in the Philippines for $700 a month. You can easily do it. I mean, 100% you can do it and have a great life. You can do it cheaper than that, but if you want modern conveniences of a nice place with nice AC, nice shower, good internet, yeah, $700 is a doable thing. And yeah, I see all these apartments that guys, you know, show online, and they're $800, $500. Nah, I mean, maybe in some places, but I digress. That was the big thing I wanted to talk to you about on this video, is just moving money around, and just have a couple backup plans. Don't go somewhere and only have one card, and then the guy at the bank, you know, was pissed off about something and forgot to activate it for you in a foreign country. Make sure that it's good to go before you leave. And like I said, sometimes it's not. So have a couple of different ways to access your cash in a foreign country. Also, with the Charles Schwab, you can withdraw 10,000 pesos from a bank. And I think that's a bank policy in the Philippines. It's about, at today's exchange rate, it's a little under 200 bucks. I think it's probably 183 bucks, something like that you can withdraw a day with one account. But what I've heard, and I heard this from another vlogger, I've never tried this before, but he was telling me that you can go to multiple banks in one day with one card. So I never had a need to have that much cash with me. That 10,000 is plenty. I mean, I never spent that much in one day, ever. The most I ever spent in one day was about 100 bucks, and that was for me and my girlfriend to go on this epic freaking canyoneering trip that was all day, including food, transportation, everything. But yeah, so you can withdraw from multiple banks, from what I hear, if you need to. But if you got more than one account, say you got two accounts, then you can, from the same bank, because sometimes if you're in a province area, there may not be a lot of options as far as banking. You might only have 2 or 3 banks. But you know, if you got 2 accounts and you can withdraw 20,000 pesos and you're bringing your family there, that might be pretty handy, you know. If you decide to, you know, make some purchases over there, or, you know, find some things you want to do, or you're staying at a more high-end resort, that might be the way for you to go. And I was also suggest that before you leave, you don't necessarily need to, but go to your bank and do a foreign exchange for pesos. In my case, I went to a bank here locally and exchanged about $1,000 in pesos. So when I hit the ground, hey pup, hey, how y'all doing? Beautiful day out here. So when I got to the Philippines, I had about $1,000 in pesos already in my pocket. So I didn't have to worry about the exchange rate in the airport. I was ready to rock and roll. I got my luggage, I got a taxi, and I was out of there, because the exchange rate in the airports are always going to cut you on the exchange rate. So if you can wait, have enough money, if you have enough money to make it for one day, pay for your hotel for one day and pay for a taxi ride, then you can find the cheaper places to exchange money. And yeah, they're going to cut you. They're going to cut you deep. I was a little aggravated with how much it cost me to get pesos from here. But live and learn, and just peace of mind. I think on $1,000, it only cost me less than 20. But like I said, I'm cheap Charlie. I don't like spending money or giving away money if I don't have to. But just for the peace of mind of being able to land in that airport, grab my bag, hit a taxi, not have to worry about, you know, dealing with that crap. That's a long flight. So the last thing you want to be worried about is all that. Same with your cell phone. You can get a SIM card in that airport, but they're going to cut you. A lot of times they're going to say, oh yeah, it's good for the whole month, and it's only $40, you know, or it's only 2,500 pesos, which is about 50 bucks or less. But that's way too much. If you can just chill out until you get to your hotel, then go to a grocery store, or you know, anywhere. Even the little sorry stores sell SIM cards. And then you pop that thing in your phone. You will need Wi-Fi to go through the motions to hook it up. So if you're in a hotel over there, get your SIM card, go to your hotel, pop it in your phone, connect to Wi-Fi, and then just go through the steps. And then you can load it up with that Ding app, and you're good to go. Or if you don't even want to mess with that, just go to the mall. If you're going to Cebu, go to friggin' Ayala, and there's 50 places in there that will take care of it. Just say, here's my phone, hook a brother up, and for just a couple of bucks you'll have it all set up. So that is the major points of this video, and again, thanks for everybody that watches my videos. I know production quality is not the greatest, and I don't have too many people watching my videos yet, but I enjoy the heck out of doing this. The Philippines is my passion. Definitely gonna live there full time as soon as possible, and go from there. So that's point one of the video. That's the information side of the video. I'm gonna pause here for a second, pop open a beer, and heck, maybe go for round two on this video. I got a couple other little things I want to talk about. So if you're just looking for the information, now's the time to duck out. But if that helps you, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Helps the channel, helps me. Gives me a little confidence of doing this. Like my videos if it helps, subscribe and share them. Thanks for everybody's support. I really appreciate it.